Drama at the Tour de France 2024, stage 16 here in Nîmes. Jasper Philipsen bagged his third win in this year's edition. Unfortunately, a kilometer and a half out, heading to the sprint finish, Biniam Girmay, already 3 stage wins himself, and in the green points jersey, crashes, comes down in one of the many roundabouts heading here into town. Jasper Philipsen was given an armchair ride to victory by world champion, all decked out in white with those rainbow stripes, Mathieu van der Poel, with the win and the points, and Girmay not getting points in the sprint. Now it's a close battle for the green jersey. I'll get into that and everything that happened in those final kilometers, but first let's back it up. 188 kilometers out there on the day, and frankly, nothing happened. Our first real action of the day came about 100 kilometers to go, 95 kilometers to go. We saw the team of Intermarché, Biniam Girmay's team, lining it out. Then world champion Mathieu van der Poel up there at the front because we had this intermediate sprint coming on. But it was Brian Coquard who really surprised everybody with the mean kick. Biniam Girmay still had a good sprint, but I think he only picked up 4th in that intermediate sprint. Doesn't matter, he has a hefty lead in the green jersey competition. Then we saw our only escape of the day, a Total Energy rider. This was a day we predicted strong crosswinds out here along the coast, the Mistral winds here, heading north to Montpellier to the finish in Nîmes. We had our Total Energy rider up front. In the end, he had spent nearly 70 kilometers out there for the day. That came to nothing for him, unfortunately, but a lot of fans celebrating on that one categorized climb of the day, Cat 4 climb. It felt like we were in the Alps. Seeing the Frenchman go over the climb, an exciting move by him. He was caught with around 25 kilometers to go. Still nothing going on in the group. All the riders were content to just bring it to a sprint finish. The sprinters wanted their day. Groupama FDJ up at the front, and we saw at that moment the Uno X rider just getting back on after he had an incident and his team cars nearly collided, going the wrong way around a roundabout. All the riders were gearing up for this sprint, 12 kilometers out. We had Visma Lisa bike up at the front protecting Jonas Vingegaard, but also getting Wout van Aert up near the front. Intermarché over on the right, and Ineos in there as well for Carlos Rodriguez. A series of roundabouts coming into town, left, right. Jay Lula at the front driving things for Dylan Groenewegen. You'll see him in the Dutch National Championship jersey. 2.5 kilometers to go, and it's dead straight except for the roundabouts, and that's what caused trouble for Biniam Girmay. We think he was the first rider to go down in this curve that curved around to the right. With him was also some EF Education Easy Post riders, including their sprinter Marian Vanderberg. Biniam Girmay sitting there on the ground in the green jersey. A true shame because he wasn't able to compete in the sprint over to Uno X, because it was Uno X for Alexander Kristoff, who's won here in Nîmes back in the day. Also, Lotto Destiny really setting things up for their sprinter, Arnold de Lee. Jonas Abrahamsen, we see him there headbutting with a Alpecin de Koenig rider to let him know, hey, I'm there, coming into that last kilometer. Uno X, the Norwegian team, really driving things for Alexander Kristoff, the Norwegian strong man, coming into the final. Alpecin right there behind him, Mathieu van der Poel, and then another Alpecin rider. Well, that's Jasper Philipsen, already 2 stage wins in this Tour de France, aiming to get a 3rd today, and he was going to do so on the coattails of Van der Poel, decked out in white. You knew he meant business today on that white Canyon bike as well. Coming through the last corners, that's when Van der Poel just opened up the throttle for Jasper Philipsen, who found his way off to the left side of Van der Poel. Coming down the middle, we see Phil Bauhaus on his wheel. Kristoff tries to come off over to the right-hand side of Philipsen, but it wasn't going to happen. Philipsen took his 3rd win in this Tour de France. It was Bauhaus 2nd and Alexander Kristoff in 3rd. And we're looking at the replay. Oh no, Biniam Girmay down on the ground, green jersey. You hate to see it. And then afterwards we saw him up there getting the green jersey on the podium. It took him some time because he was getting checked over by the doctors, and Girmay, it looks like his knee took the biggest hit on the crash, but he was able to get up there and accept the green jersey, and we hope continue to fight on. His teammates helped him to the finish line. Also Vanderberg's teammates. We saw the Stars and Stripes jersey of Sean Quinn coming in, but really all the attention was on the green jersey, the Eritrean rider who made history in Torino, becoming the first black rider in the Tour de France ever to win a stage in the sprint. Well, it was clean as could be with Jasper Philipsen doing the right thing today, holding his line, going to the finish, with Mathieu van der Poel leading him out to victory. I spoke with van der Poel afterwards, and he said even though he's not winning in this race, it's important. It feels like a win for him, and doing what he's doing here in the Tour sets him up for what's to come. And this year it's the Olympics. Last year is the World Championships, where he took the rainbow jersey. Looking back at Biniam Girmay, oh, what a shame. I think he fell going around 60 kilometers an hour when he hit the deck. It was a fast, hard crash. Sometimes those are the best. He didn't have his gloves on. All the cyclists these days ride without gloves. They get better grip on the handlebars, but it hurts when you go down without gloves on, and he didn't have them on today, but the knee's going to cost him the most troubles in the next days, and we hope he continues on in this race to make history again, becoming the first Eritrean to take that green jersey home. Intermarché is going to mean a lot for them. Now the standings are very close with Jasper Philipsen. He was told over the finish line that Biniam Girmay had crashed, and so he doesn't obviously want to take more points on Girmay in this fashion, but it's cycling. Crashes happen. Right now in the standings is Girmay with 32 points over Philipsen. Had Girmay even been in the sprint 4th or 5th place, he would have gotten enough points. It would have been mathematically very hard for Philipsen to mount a charge to get that green jersey, repeat what he did last year off of Girmay's shoulders before we finish the Tour de France in Nice on Sunday. Now it's going to be a tight one for Philipsen to try to get the green jersey. There are not any more sprints available. There are 2 stages where he could get away in an escape to get intermediate sprints. Girmay will try to do so as well if he does so, and Intermarché will try to close it down if Philipsen's in the escape move. That's tomorrow's stage 17, and then in 2 days' time, stage 19, where the intermediate sprint comes before the big mountains, because we have big mountain stages on the horizon. And so it's going to be a tight battle to watch. Bad news for Biniam Girmay, but what a great sprint by Mathieu van der Poel, leading it out for Jasper Philipsen, the Belgian, taking his 3rd win in this year's Tour de France, following up on last year's success. Drama, victory here in Nimes.